What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're at. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. I want to start off the show first by saying, giving out my love and condolences and prayers to anybody that is in Hawaii right now, in Maui specifically. Lahaina Front Street is not doing well right now. If we just pull this up, there's a bunch of clips here you could see. Front Street is just completely on fire. I have a bunch of family in Maui, my grandfather, a couple uncles, some cousins and their families, and so on and so forth. And Front Street is basically the main tourist strip where there's a lot of different storefronts and restaurants. And my uncle's, there's the Lahaina Harbor's right there as well, with the fishing boats and sailboats and all this kind of stuff. My uncle's boat burned, and apparently every boat that wasn't out on the water also burned. So big love and prayers for all of those people that were affected by that, and not just in Lahaina. Love and prayers to anybody that's dealing with any sort of hardship anywhere, whether it's you, your family member, somebody in the middle of the Nairobi desert. I don't care where it is or why it is. Big love and gratitude, and just, prayers for anybody dealing with hardship right now. Just sometimes it's important that we jump out of what's going on in the charts and we say, how am I doing? How are you doing? How's your family doing? Is there anything that I can do for you? Even if it's just a hug or a listening ear or a helping hand. So unfortunately, you can see that I'm still out of breath from those 30 push-ups I did about 5 minutes ago. I'm trying to get myself back into shape, and we're going to get there. Now, again, everybody, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. I don't know why the sub thing didn't pop up, but yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get involved. And again, my name's Kellam. If this is your first time, I can guarantee you this is not going to be your last time. All my info is right there. We're going to be breaking down why Bitcoin was pumping yesterday, what price is doing today, and where we think it might be going based on probabilities. If you did not watch the video we did yesterday here on the channel, yes, we broke down price action, but that video is meant to be evergreen, and that is this video right here. If you're watching anywhere else, make sure you come over to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. You can see right here. And look at this video right here, A Trader's Edge, Crypto Analysis and Signals, Simple Guide to TA. This helps you, basically shows you how you methodically go through all the different layers of technical analysis and data, in addition to price action, strength, stochastics, volume, the shape of price action, patterns, and you stack these things in your favor to build probabilities so that you could take trades based on probabilities, not trading on hopes and dreams. That's what we don't want to do. If you're trading on hopes and dreams, then you will be funding somebody else's hopes and dreams. Let me say that again. When you're trading, when we're involved in the charts, when you have capital in the market, you do not trade on hopes and dreams. You trade on data and probabilities. Because if you trade on hopes and dreams, then what you're really going to end up doing is funding somebody else's hopes and dreams. So everybody take note of that and recognize, myself, any professional trader out there that you've ever seen or met, whether it's CryptoFace, Ben Armstrong, Frankie Candles, Tom Crown, doesn't matter who they are, Eric Crown, Crown's Crypto Cave. It doesn't matter who it is, Gareth Soloway. There's always going to be emotionality involved. It comes down to how well you can know thyself, but then also how you can enact strategies to prevent yourself from doing stupid things. Trade on data, recognize your emotionality, set that aside and say, I know I'm feeling this way, but all my probabilistic models show this, so I'm going to take this trade. But even when I take the trade, I'm going to still enact and engage with healthy risk management strategies. Even though I'm trading with what I feel like is a highly probable setup, always have risk management. So with that being said, I just want to ask how each and every one of you are doing. Throw a one in chat if you're feeling grateful. Let me know, everybody in the chat right now. We got 88 people in the room. How you doing? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We've got over 60% of the people still watching on a daily basis. That means you're back regularly. We can see it in the data models on the back end of YouTube with the analytics. Over 60% of you are not subscribed yet. So what are you doing? Get involved. Join us. We've got a wonderful community here. Now, where are you tuned in from? What city, what state, what country? Now, I think that's enough of an intro. Let's go ahead and dive into what we want to talk about today. First things first, make sure you give me a follow here at Kelly Kellam. You can also see, it's right there, at Kelly Kellam. That's the only way to spell it. Make sure you're checking out BitLab Academy. Come give us a follow here at Academy BitLab. Hit that retweet, hit that like button on today's post. We still have the I don't want to call it a contest, but the giveaways that we do every week. We're still doing it. It's going to be changing very soon, but you still have the ability to enter yourself to win. All you have to do is follow, retweet, and like any of these daily tweets throughout the week, or all of them. All of them give you an entry. We randomly pick from those people that are helping be a part of the community and supporting. So if you haven't yet, head over to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. Now, of course, also check out bitlabacademy.com. We got some great things coming up very shortly. The reason I didn't have the meeting yesterday morning, the reason I didn't do the regular live show yesterday morning is because I had about an hour-long meeting with TJ, and we were talking about all the things that we have coming to BitLab, how we were going to roll them out, other new value offerings that we can provide everybody that's in our community. So get involved. All you have to do is come to here to bitlabacademy.com. Come up here to enroll now. Get involved in all the new indicators. I wouldn't call them new. All the upgraded and overhauled indicators will be rolling out this month. So I'll see you all with those indicators very soon. Now, what are we talking about? We talked about Lahaina. I'm actually going to put this over here. Where's my... Put this... I'm moving some things. Hold on. Moving some things. There we go. All right. Now, what do we want to talk about? Okay. Today's Wednesday, August 9th. We didn't really have any big news coming out. Excuse me. Still got a little bit of a cough from last week. We don't have any big news that's come out yet this week. But we do have, in terms of the U.S. data, I mean, it's all important data that we're seeing here. But what we're really waiting on is Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow we have CPI month over month and year over year, and core CPI, consumer price index. This is a great metric for us for the Fed and all of us that are investors and traders in the market, trying to see into the future about what likely is going to happen. Because remember, all markets are speculative. We're trading on where we think price is headed. We don't trade on where price is at. We trade on where price we are predicting is headed, right? So if CPI is coming out tomorrow, and what is CPI, consumer price index? Consumer price index is a metric that helps us gain some sort of insight as to what consumers, AKA you and me, AKA everybody going to a store to buy things, have prices gone up or down? AKA, what's the story with inflation? Why do we care about this? I don't really give a shit about this. But in reality, in order to have a healthy data set and understanding what the risk narrative is looking forward into the markets, looking forward in time, I want to know what's going on with inflation, specifically because everything has happened in the last 3 years, and what the narrative is going to be with Jerome Powell and the Fed, and especially, at their next FOMC meeting, is there going to be another rate hike? Is there going to be more tightening? This is what we want to pay attention to. And then on Friday, we've got core PPI, producers price index. That's Friday. And then, of course, likely, it's not guaranteed, but likely Friday evening, we're also going to get some sort of indication whether or not Gary Gensler with the SEC is going to give the first decision. It's a soft deadline with ARK Invest for their Bitcoin spot ETF. Are they going to give a delay announcement? Are they not? Is nothing going to come out until Sunday night, which I can't really see a press release coming out Sunday night because it's Sunday. And let's be honest, the government doesn't work that hard to be there on the weekends. So we will likely get some sort of indication about what's going to happen with that late in the afternoon, East Coast time here in the U.S. Friday. Then, of course, the next Bitcoin spot ETF decision soft deadlines are September 1st and September 2nd, which is the Bitwise spot ETF and the blockchain spot ETF for Bitcoin. Again, that's likely going to be something that's going to be a delay. We have some information. I'm sure you've seen it on all the other crypto YouTube channels as well, but I'm going to bring it up just in case somebody hadn't seen it, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But we're going to be getting into a lot of TA today, so stick around if you don't care about any of this news or any of the. That's okay. Sometimes you need to hear it. Be with us here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We got about 120 people in the room. About half of you have participated in this channel that's bringing you great, unbiased, free information, data, tools, strategies. Only half of you are participating just by the easiest thing you can do, hitting that like button. So everybody right now should be hitting that like button. We also have a poll in the chat. I want each and every one of you to participate in that. Bitcoin price action is bull trap and then back down, or bulls in control, up and away, or never ending sideways chop. Let us know what you think. We'll bring up the final results of that in about 10 minutes. Now, moving on to, where's my mouse? Moving on to the next thing now we can very quickly go through a couple of these news articles to give us some context about what the heck is going on with the price. Why did it push up? Because it was ready? Because maybe there's other, forces and impacts and stimuli in the market that is creating shifts in investor behaviors in the market. In this case, we see stocks tumble. We also saw, this is actually interesting. We see stocks tumble as Moody's warns it could cut credit ratings for 6 big banks. Now, this is interesting. I don't really care about this stocks, but what I do care about in this context is the fact that when Moody's warns it could cut credit ratings for banks, AKA how trustworthy are they? Is their trustworthiness going up or down? This is what they're talking about. Stocks tumble. But what did we see Bitcoin's price action do yesterday? Look at that. Is that a tumble? No, this is quite the contrary. Let's see. Let's go to, why am I on the 24-minute chart? I don't know. So looking here, yeah, so this is yesterday, 8 a.m. And then all day long yesterday, we had, basically a sustained move up and to the right on the daily. People want to look at this. People want to look at this and say, oh my God, this is a Bitcoin pump. We're about to break $32,000. We're going up to the golden pocket up at 48,000 and then all-time high. We can't look at price on any asset, price action on any asset like that. We have to always remember, I talked about this yesterday when we were talking about TA. Go like this. Let's double click on this, put it into auto mode, and then zoom out and see that this has just been a sideways range. And this high right here is still below the low side of the previous range. So is it even a pump? No, this currently still looks like it's structured like some sort of small relief, relief impulse to the upside. It doesn't mean it can't result in fully becoming a pump and actually having follow through. That could happen. And we're going to be breaking this down. I'm going to show you some signals that could indicate, two different sides of the coin here. But as it stands right now, remember, when we're seeing this like this, okay, it's bullish on this small time frame we're looking, but when you zoom out, nothing's happened. Always zoom out. Maybe something more has happened than you thought. Maybe zooming out allows you to see that nothing's really happened. In fact, what I would argue is with this sort of impulse right here, this is tapping liquidity to the upside up here to basically take advantage of people taking this liquidity, basically people buying here. You're allowing people to offload from these, short trades here, and other people that maybe wanted to offload here, but they weren't sure it was going down. The price comes down to these levels. They push the price back up here. Now they get to offload here before the price continues down. And we're going to be breaking down a lot of TA here in a little bit. We're going to get back to this in a second. But the big thing here, and check it out, I've got my shoes on today, not flip-flops. So I don't care that there is a giant centipede on the wall. I don't know why there's so many damn centipedes here. Yeah, I can't stop looking at it. So the interesting thing here is that stocks tumble with bad news for bank credit ratings while Bitcoin pumps. The reason why I say in the long run, I think this is a good thing because we're starting to see the inklings on a regular basis when banks are facing wide issue or systemic sort of issue, or we saw the, cascading bank collapses earlier this year in March into early April. We saw Bitcoin performing tremendously well. Now we see the banks, Moody's warns it could cut credit ratings of banks. Stocks tumble, Bitcoin performs well again. We're starting to see the sort of groundwork. We're starting to see some really incredible things here where Bitcoin is performing very well in the face of bad data for traditional finance. Now, I just noticed this, and this always drives me crazy. Let's go ahead and zip that in there. There we go. Zippity-doo-dah. I have the bottom of the window coming out under the border. That's not okay. Now, I just wanted to point out, why did Bitcoin pump yesterday? It's not only going to be because of this, but remember also, when Bitcoin is boring, very boring, small moves can yield, larger than, I don't want to say necessary. When the volatility is constricted as it is, it's very easy to have, things that don't have a huge impact on an asset to make it start making moves. Now, there's some other really important data we're going to be looking at here in a few minutes that shows actually, even with the small move that it made, huge increase in the 24-hour trading volume, and open interest also, having a huge increase as well. So people are just sitting there like they're just ready because they're so damn bored with the price action. Everybody's looking at the 4-year cycle and they say we should be going up, but I've shown you the charts, I've shown you the data that that's not necessarily the case. And remember, these big players in the industry can very easily take advantage of people because they're bored. So don't get trapped because you're bored. Trade on the data. You're welcome to listen to me. In fact, I'm honored that you do, but I really want to implore you to watch multiple people, form your analysis based on many different data points, not only that you're seeing in the chart, but also online analytical personalities, whether it's me, Frankie Candles, CryptoFace, Tom Crown, Kevin Svensson, Jordan Lindsay, Tech Dev, The Real Plan C, The Rational. Gain your data from multiple different sources so you're not getting biased data. Because I may have some sort of idea and some sort of structure that I'm looking at that I'm going to trade, but I also have a different size capital account that I can dance with in the market. And I also have, even if I talk about potentially taking a trade, maybe I take that trade, but maybe, 7 hours from now, different factors in the market change and I change the type of position that I'm having. Meanwhile, you feel like you're left holding the bag. No, this is why you have to make your own decisions. You have to do your own diligence while you're getting data from multiple different sources. So we got 148 people in the room, 78 likes. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, get involved, baby. Let's do this. Now, coming over here, I also want to point this out. Bitcoin, I just mentioned this. Bitcoin open interest surges as price hits 2-week high. Now, again, this feels good. Oh my God, price hits 2-week high. Let's go back to the chart. Back to the chart. Oh my God, we look at this push up, zoom out. Did we go anywhere? Nowhere. Where'd you go? Nowhere. Why? Because we see this orange line right here. This orange line is right where all this trading activity happened. Not only did we have all this trading activity, if we zoom back, look, this orange line is also basically the low side of this previous range. So does it matter that we had a 2-week high? No, it just shows that the last 2 weeks has been boring as shit. That's all. Don't get trapped by small price action because you're very hopeful for it to go in a direction because it's more exciting when it goes up. It's more exciting when it goes up because maybe you only have a strategy to trade longs. People that trade long and short or have a longer term vision about where the market's going to go and they can be patient, even if they don't short the market, they're okay with price coming down because they can take advantage of those lower prices to lower their average entry, or maybe they're out of the market entirely and they're waiting for that lower entry to get that right price. Don't be frustrated with the market. Be frustrated with your strategy and fix your strategy so then you're no longer frustrated. All right, continuing on. Open interest surges as price hits 2-week highs. Zooming down here. Today's total aggregate open interest. This is basically essentially when people have contracts in the market, whether it's derivatives, perpetuals, all the margin, leverage, all this stuff. For Bitcoin futures, ballooned by more than 1 billion from the day prior. 14.53 billion. So the day prior, it was basically around 13.5, and now it's 14.5 billion dollars in open interest in contracts, marking the largest increase in more than 1 month. CoinGlass data shows. Bitcoin's upside was also marked by active spot trading. So this is important. It's not just derivatives, futures, leverage, but also active spot trading, most noticeably on the Binance exchange. This is kind of a stupid, Binance is the largest exchange. So of course there's gonna be a lot of spot trading there comparatively. Contrasting with relatively subdued activity on Coinbase, exchange data shows. Now let's come over to CoinGlass. I just wanna show you something here. This is a free tool, by the way, coinglass.com. There's so many free tools out there, by the way, for all of you. Watching this show is a free tool for you. I break down a lot of the data. Maybe you don't want to go and pull all these things up. Maybe you just want to watch me or watch other channels like mine and get this data fed to you. Great. But also know the tools that you can utilize if you're trying to do something on off hours, or maybe all the crypto YouTubers get shut down. You have to understand the tools that you can utilize to build into your strategy of due diligence, so you can create the data set that you can pull from, so that you can build your strategy that is most effective for you. So zooming in here, coinglass.com, I'm looking here just on the regular homepage here. Look at this, Bitcoin, 24-hour volume up, 24-hour price up 1.65%, 1.68. This is interesting. Volume right here, 24-hour volume percentage. About an hour and a half ago, actually it was close to about 8 a.m. And I remember, this is going to be important because when we look at the price here, look down here, let's go to the 1 hour chart right here. So this is about 8 a.m. Yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. Shit. Where's right here? This is 8 a.m. yesterday. So 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. before the daily pump really took off. So when I was looking at the data this morning on CoinGlass, 24 hours prior to about 7:45, just before 8 a.m., it was comparing the percentage of daily trading volume. It was comparing it to here and before. The interesting thing was, and the reason why where did it go? Where's CoinGlass? The reason why this is now lower, when I was looking at it at 7:45, 8 a.m. this morning, this was at like 38%. So there was a 38% increase in volume in the last 24-hour period this morning. But as this day has progressed, so too has this 24-hour clock in terms of at what point it's comparing it to. But even still right now, where we're at right now would be about right here. You see right here. So 10 to 11 right in here. So this large volume sort of spike right here, we could tell there's a volume spike because on the BitLab intelligence, we can see right here on the chart, see how these candles turn teal? This means that there's high volume within these candles. So there's a strong move into this. And usually what happens when you see a candle expanding bullishly like this, look at this, price rolls over, bounces right here in the dynamic support zone above the 50 moving average, which also is trend signal green, suggesting that this is in a bullish trend. This comes down, finds support in this zone, and then not only bounces up, starts expanding bullishly, but in addition to that, then we get high volume candles. Typically, once you move into the high volume candles, that's when you start getting into the zone where you're about to get overheated and the price pulls back. We get this stopping candle here that's yellow. And not only do we get that, look at this, we get this bearish signal. So had you taken a move from this, look at this, bullish, let me move this like this, bullish signal right here, and perfect. We had a high volume candle to the downside, that's these dark pink. High volume to the upside is this teal. And then we get the stopping volume and the bullish symbol. This was a perfect trade right here, boom to boom right here. You could have taken this trade and that would have been about a 3% trade on spot if you had done that on any sort of leverage, 3x, 5x, 10x, depending on what your risk matrix is, what you can tolerate, what you understand how to navigate, and how you understand how to affect healthy risk management strategy in there. I don't want anybody to get too over their head, but this would have been a great trade. If this was a 10x trade, this would have been a 30% move from this bullish signal to this bearish signal. That doesn't mean you had to take that trade. You could have taken this bullish, long right here, saw this was bouncing here, not gotten out of this because this bounced right on the top side of this dynamic support zone. Also, not only that, it actually bounced right at the 20 moving average, which is this slightly darker line that this bounced off here. And then we get up right up here. And then maybe in this case, a great strategy would have been to take a long and then ladder your exits out to take some out here on these two signals. All this, these signals are all part of the new BitLab intelligence, which will be rolling out here very soon. Now the question is, remember, new daily high, sorry, new 2-week high, but look at this, large wick, bears ate this up and turned this into a bearish candle. Price comes down, finds support on the 50 line within this dynamic support zone, comes up, breaks back out into the order block that was created right here, which is proven to be resistance, and we have a lower high here. Now we're going to be continuing to break down some TA on this in just a few minutes, so let's move through the rest of the data we wanted to look at here. So volume's up, people are getting excited. Why are they getting excited? Because we had a 1.5, 2% move. Now, there's some considerations that we need to take here when we see this sort of stuff. Drink some water first. There's some considerations we need to take, and that is, if there's a huge spike in open interest, if we actually go to open interest, boom, right here, Bitcoin, open interest change up 5%. This morning it was up like 8% or something like that. We're seeing a huge spike in open interest, huge spike in volume from a 2% move. And not only, it was not only just a 2% move, we didn't even break past the previous range's lows. There's no, to me, that there's no substance there. But if we're seeing the spike in open interest, that's retail and dumb money and people trading on hope that if you have a strategy, maybe you can be one of the people that they donate that hopium money to. Because if we're seeing open interest spike and volume spike on a 2% move, and there's no substance to that move as of yet, then this also creates the opportunity for a likely sharp decline, because if there's a sharp spike in open interest, aka derivatives, futures, leverage trades, people are thrown in those, those leverage longs, and we can tell that these are leverage longs because the open interest. Let's actually go to funding right here. One day. So this is switched. Good. So earlier this was all green, meaning that it was costing money to open longs. But there's a lot of there's a few more shorts here than longs that we could tell because the funding rate is negative. Let me see if there's a graph here. Yeah. Funding rate. No, is this? Okay, that's price. No, okay, yeah. So I think I was looking at this data wrong because, oh yeah, that's why. So we could see right here that there's a lot of positive funding. So this is actually good. This actually, I look at too many numbers sometimes, I confuse myself. But my point here is that in this case, this is actually not good for what if you are a bull. Yes, it's okay to have people betting long and the price still goes long. But when we're still in a contentious area, we haven't broken past the previous range's lows, and we're seeing a 2-ish% move, under 2% move to the upside, and we see very heavy. The funding rate is positive here, suggesting that there's more people betting long. Then what happens is on a very small move to the downside could then actually end up turning into a pretty quick cascade and price action to the downside with any lack of follow through with positive narrative or a narrative that comes out that actually just slams a narrative from any sort of bullish hope to to fear. And if that were to happen, you get a natural price sell off while then also having leveraged shorts come in. Well, then you still have this disproportionate number of longs on the market, aka leverage longs, margins long, futures longs. And when you have those leverage longs, those margin longs, those futures longs, the derivatives betting long, then that also means that then you have liquidation levels, because when you're trading spot, you can buy at $10, it can go up to 20, it can go down to 0, and you're gonna gain or lose 1 for 1. So if it goes from 10 to 20, you made that $10. But if you're betting leverage and you're at $10 and you bet 10x leverage, if it goes from 10 to 11, you just made $10. So it only took $1 move to make $10. Whereas on spot, you have to go from 10 to 20 to make $10. Sounds exciting. Sounds so exciting. However, what most people fail to realize is the risk is the same for the downside. So if it's at 10 and you're leveraging long, because you have to pick, are you leveraging long or short? Betting the price going up or down. If you're leveraged long 10x and you bet at $10, you're hoping it to go up and it drops to 8, you just lost $20 on that move. And what happens is then you have a liquidation zone. You have a liquidation point at which the collateral that you supplied to make that trade. So if you're leveraging long 10 and you put up $10, you're basically trading $100 for only the cost of 10. Then you have a liquidation point because they don't allow you to go beyond the point at which you're going beyond the loss of what the amount of collateral you have on the books is for that trade, if that makes sense. And we're going to be I'm working with Bybit. I'm working with BitGet, by the way. Strong partnership coming on with them. We're going to be doing a bunch of trading stuff here on BitLab Academy, the YouTube stream, and also within the BitLab Academy community. We're actually going to be providing some free content for everybody. The only thing that you'll need to do to have access to it is sign up with the BitGet link. The link is down below in the description. If any of the mods can share that here in the chat, that's the only thing you'll need to do in order to get access to that content. And we're actually going to be building some basically leverage, margins, futures courses so people can understand exactly what they are. Because too many people jump into the foray with that, with greed, and they end up getting themselves in a position where they lose more money than they thought possible, and so quick that I did it myself. Years ago, I lost about $70,000 in the matter of a few hours because I was a great spot trader. I really was, and I thought I was the best. I forgot my humility. Humility can protect you. Lack of humility will steal from you in spades, in ego, in money, in family, in friends. I forgot my humility. So I was going to be rich with my great spot trading strategy. I got into leverage. I forgot to adjust my sort of risk profile, my risk strategy. And I essentially just donated almost $100,000 to other people. Idiot. Seriously. But it's the best lesson I ever learned. And thank God that it was years ago. And I learned from that and I adjusted all my strategies. And I want to make sure without you all having to lose tens of thousands, if not near $100,000. I want you to be able to have healthy strategies. And so that's some of the content we're going to be creating shortly. And then also, along with that content, we're going to be doing a lot of different trading here. Basically, these I don't want to call them trading courses, but these live trading sessions with you all. And the only thing you'll need to do to access that is get involved, sign up with our BitGet affiliate link. Now, I will say along with that note, no matter where you live, whether you're in US, Canada, Bermuda, Brazil, London, no matter where you are, remember the government bodies that create regulation for utilizing any of these exchanges, the regulation isn't for you as a customer. The regulation is for those institutions to basically create barriers so it's hard for U.S. citizens or I don't know all the regulations and all the different jurisdictions where leverage and margin is and is not allowed, but it's not illegal for you to use those things. But what I will say with that is I just want to make sure every one of you, when you are trading online, when you're doing anything, really even on social media, chatting with friends, it's very important that you use a VPN service provider to help protect your computer, your assets, your personal information. You can mask your IP and show your IP as being somewhere else. So it's for many different reasons, but it helps prevent hackers from basically zeroing in on your data, on all the stuff. So when you use a VPN, it also allows you to utilize all the services and exchanges and everything that you can do at your own risk. So know that, but it is one of the reasons why you're able to do that. Now, jumping back into the charts here, we got 168 people on in this show, 99 likes. Everybody hit that like button. hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's dig in a little bit further here. Now looking, this was, okay, Bitcoin soon to witness, blah, 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 the ETF expectations. Everybody's seen this by now from every YouTuber out there. Inside sources suggesting that approval for BlackRock and Invesco's spot ETF is a matter of time, when, not if. I believe that as well. And you know, the speculation, I even said this 2 days ago before all this news story comes out. My expectation is most likely is going to be somewhere between January to March, probably February timeframe for when the approvals ultimately come through, if they do. This is another reason, in addition to that Moody's report reducing the credit rating, but potentially reducing the credit rating of those 6 banks. This was the story I'm talking about here earlier. That coupled with this story here is one of those two things combined kind of pumps some fuel back into the ETF hope speculation, which also drove the price up. But does hope have substance? Hope doesn't have substance, which is why when you look at the Bitcoin chart, we're finding a lower rejection from where this wick went. And now look at this. See how high this momentum wave is right here? See these green bars on this momentum wave down here as well? Green bars mean high volume as well in this momentum. And then this sort of peaks, and we get the diamond here, and it starts to roll over. Interesting thing is, look at this. On the candle, yes, the wick goes higher, but when you look at candle bodies, the substance of the move is what the candle body is essentially. We can see that we have a higher high on the bodies here, and look how much lower this momentum strength is down here. Interesting. Now, if we come over here, I remember looking at this earlier. Actually, I'll pull that up in a second. I keep getting ahead of myself. The other thing I wanted to point out here is $385 billion investment firm Carlyle Group may invest in Bitcoin soon. Now, this is a positive article. The reason why I brought this up isn't because I care about the Carlyle Group. It's more because this is, for me, probably one of the most obvious things in the market that we need to pay attention to, and why it's important to identify where you want to get in on the market, where you want to find your entries, understanding where we're at on the 4-year cycle and taking your shot, layering in your entries if you haven't, being smart, also having that, I would say into the middle end of 2025 sort of time horizon, that even if you buy and the price drops, you can still layer in more or just hold, because the highest likelihood is that Bitcoin is going to be going up post-halving into the end of 2025, based on all the time models that we look at of the Bitcoin cycle. Now, this highlights not only the Carlyle Group. The reason I brought this up is because in reality, especially post BlackRock spot ETF approval and all their positive things that they said about Bitcoin being, essentially the best international asset, because it's going to transcend government fiat currencies and other equities. This signaled to every institution in the world, Bitcoin is something that you should start looking into. So this article, I don't care about the Carlyle Group. Yes, this will be a big thing, but I'm looking at this as a signal to the tens of thousands of other institutions out there that are sitting there with their teams of people they just hired to learn about Bitcoin so they can get involved. We scroll down right here. Institutional adoption of Bitcoin may continue to increase as global investment firm. So this is another one of those cascading things where it's like BlackRock, and then we get another large institutional investor like Carlyle Group, and then we'll, at some point we're gonna start seeing this cascade of positive news stories. And I don't think when you see something like this that they haven't already forayed into the space a little bit, because institutions don't signal what they're going to do and then do it after they've affected the price in a positive way. To the contrary, usually they create some sort of FUD story like we saw the last, many years from banks and BlackRock and so on and so forth, only to now find out that they've been layering in the whole time. So scrolling down here, $385 billion. The mighty BlackRock, if the mighty BlackRock is willing to have an ETF in Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin is going to be around for a little while. I would say so myself. Yes. Now, the last couple things I just want to look at here. Bitstamp a couple alt news. Bitstamp to halt U.S. trading for Matic, Sol, and Chiliz, and 5 other altcoins. What are the, I didn't even see the 5. So Mana, Near, Sand, and Sol. So maybe we'll look at these. So this is AXS, Axis Infinity, Chiliz, Mana, Matic, Near, Sand, and Sol. So I'm going to try and remember to look at all of these. So starting August 29th, we're suspending trading for the following cryptocurrencies in the U.S. See that new orders involving these assets will be disabled, and all existing orders across all these pairs will be canceled. Bitcoin's move to suspend trading for the named cryptocurrencies follows a recent regulatory action against Binance and Coinbase. So there's still some, follow-on effects and impacts that the SEC's shenanigans is causing within the space. And this is why when people ask, for those that are Bitcoin maxis, how could you be a Bitcoin maxi when you can see how much gains you can make in these alts? This is why people think Bitcoin is the safest asset, because it's has it skirted the scrutiny of the SEC? No, I think more so the design and composition and decentralization and how Bitcoin is engineered has positioned it as such. And of course, it also being the oldest of the digital assets that we're trading in the crypto asset ecosystem. Let's get away from saying cryptocurrencies, because most of these are crypto assets, not currencies, right? But Bitcoin has a track record, has the uptime, has the lack of issue, and also is, generally agreed with regulatory bodies around the world as a commodity, not a security. So therefore, you're not having to worry about what exchange is going to list or delist or what the SEC is going to say or not say. It's its own asset. And in a lot of ways, I talked to other analysts about this. I still believe that, yes, there are all loosely in the same ecosystem, but I think of Bitcoin and I think of crypto. I think of them as two different asset classes that are somewhat lumped together. But in some ways, Bitcoin is almost like a bridge between the crypto asset market and the traditional finance market, because it holds a lot of characteristics. Think of, this is why a lot of people talk about Bitcoin potentially being this idea of digital gold, because it's a store of value, right? The security, the safety, the lack of regulatory confusion. Then you have crypto, which is Ethereum and everything else. And Ethereum is almost then the bridge of all the alts. And then you have Ethereum as a bridge between that and Bitcoin, because it is closer to Bitcoin than it is the rest of the alts, but it's still not clear from a regulatory scrutiny, especially since they've changed from proof of work to proof of stake. It's still not a certainty that it won't get some sort of SEC slap on it. I think it's a little less likely because of how broad the Ethereum ecosystem is, but you don't know, right? And this is why you see people with big money, when they do foray into the space, they typically go into Bitcoin, and their risky play in the crypto ecosystem is Ethereum. So just take note from people that have made a shitload of money. I'm not talking about me. I've made peanuts. I'm talking about, what I've made is not even peanuts compared to institutional investors that are doing, $3, $4, $5 billion in trading volume a day across their various assets in their investment portfolio. That's money. How'd they get there? They don't allocate 90% of the money, the capital in their markets into high-risk plays. They diversify their portfolio between risk and non-risk assets. And some of the risk assets then balloon from a 1% or 2% allocation in their portfolio to then, taking up 20% of their portfolio. They take profits, substantial profits out of that, reallocate that into non-risk. So this way they're protected, they're hedged, and they're also able to have exposure to the risk market while being able to maintain their capital over time. We could all take a page out of that book, but let's be honest, all of us are some greedy bastards, aren't we? No, I see how much money these other people have. I see how much money these other traders have, my friends that got in before me. So we go in and we do a 30X leverage trade on our entire portfolio because we're going to catch up. What do? You donate your money to those people that already have the money. So let's not do that. We got a good crew in here today. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Let's see what this poll said. So we got Bitcoin price action is bull trap and back down 57%. Now it's 56%. Bulls in control, up and away 18%. So about around 20% of the people watching are perma bulls. It's okay, you know. Nobody can be right or wrong all the time, right? Clock is right twice. A broken clock is right twice a day, right? Never-ending sideways chop, 26%. So it's a pretty sort of, I don't want to say even split, but decent split. Majority here think that this is a bit of a bull trap. Just because I'm a little bit biased, I'd say bravo for being on the same sort of side of it as me. Does this mean that 56% of us can't be wrong? No, we very likely could be wrong. And I think it's we got one more article, and then we're going to dive into the charts. This is just important. Cardano unleashes major Bitcoin integration on the mainnet. This is essentially, if you've seen like wrapped Bitcoin on Ether or on BNB, all those sorts of stuff. Now we also have, similarly, we have a CBTC, which is basically Cardano wrapped Bitcoin asset. So you essentially, it basically empowers users to harness Bitcoin backed assets within the Cardano ecosystem. So it's just basically helping tie the ecosystem together and provide some of the liquidity and some of the functionality and use case integrated into with Bitcoin integrated into the Cardano ecosystem. Essentially, at the end of the day, this is just strengthening the utility and offering of what the Cardano blockchain can provide and be utilized for. So I think it's time, everybody. Throw one in chat if you're ready to do some TA, break things down, get into the nitty gritty of where the hell price is going, what we can do, what the strategy is. Let's see what's up. I want to see a bunch of ones in the chat right now. I want everybody to be popping. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We got 117 likes, 171 people in the room. Easiest way to support crypto is to hit that like button right now. So let's get involved. So looking here, this is about where the halving is going to be right here. Now on the daily, look at this on the bottom right, the BitLab trend fuel. We got 1, 2, 3 out of the 6. We can call this 4 because this is a dark green, showing bullish, but this is basically is it bullish, neutral, or bearish? The various signals that we have within this. But if we come down to the 12-hour, let's kind of go through the different time frames. Same thing there. 4-hour. Now it's starting to look a little bit more bearish. And then look at this. What does this look like? What is this? Double top, double bottom, M formation, W formation, right? So what are these? M formation is when you get the boom, boom, boom. That's a double top. You want to watch for when the price action breaks this low right here. W formation, you want to watch for when price action breaks this right here for a confirmation of a reversal. Reversal down, reversal up. So, by the way, we break all this down inside BitLab Academy. So definitely go head over to BitLab Academy. If you're not involved, check out BitLab Academy. Come over here, click on enroll. And when you click on enroll, you can sign up for the free membership right here. This is not a membership. This is free access to the very beginner sort of courses. But if you want all access to all the courses we provide, you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off your first month. You get access to the premium Discord as well as all the courses. If you want the courses and all the indicators, which is actually bundled together about 30% off, reduced in price every month, you can sign up right here for BitLab Pro right here. And of course, I just want to reemphasize, we got a lot of content we share here on the YouTube, but within the actual coursework that we do, we break this stuff down. How to do self-custody, trading fundamentals, the psychology of trading, on-chain data analysis, candles, reading exactly what's the narrative with each candle, candle patterns, trading strategies, indicators. This isn't just our indicators. This is a lot of the stock ones too, RSI, stochastic. We break all this down. So get involved, go through this, give yourself the best investment ever. That's an investment in your education. And we're not charging thousands of dollars like a lot of the crypto courses out there. I think the all access one is $37.99 a month. And that's less than a lot of different crypto figures out there charge just for their premium Discord. We do Discord and all the access to the courses, the current courses we have and all the future courses. So I just wanted to shout that out. Now, double top, boom. This is suggesting maybe a reversal. It doesn't have to happen. We have two things here. This is the bottom right here of this zone, meaning this is the low right here. And look at right where this is confluent with. This moving average right here, this 20 moving average right here. There's an EMA. We're already pushing into this EMA, this ribbon, part of the BitLab Trend Fuel. Coming down, we have 2 points of support here. This previous low of this most recent range, as well as the 20 moving average right here. Now, if the price comes down here and loses this, not only have we lost this low, we've lost the 20 moving average, which would suggest to me that we are probably coming down further, at minimum, to come down and test this 50 moving average, which at this point would probably be up here around 29.4. How do I know that? Why am I suggesting it could be up there? Because you look at a trajectory. It would probably move something like this. So if the price action loses this, comes up, comes down, it's going to be somewhere in this region here, which is right about 29.4, 29.5. That's what we're looking at. Now, do I think it's going to come down? Well, let's again zoom out. Couldn't break past this high here. The candle bodies are held below the lows of the previous range. And we have a reversal pattern right here. We got, let me go back out. I want to see the BitLab volume that it's similar to a VPVR. We can see that this is finding resistance right in this high volume node, the low side of this volume node right here, getting rejected. Now, similarly, something else I wanted to show. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Stochastics angled down. RSI angled down. Momentum way higher here, momentum lower. Look at this on the 1 hour. Look at it, all red here except for one. The only thing that's not red, the only thing that's not red is the RSI being bottomed. So this indicates to me that there's, I mean, you can also see right here, see the volume here? See the volume here? We're getting higher candle bodies, less volume. Interest is coming out here. This is pushing into the order block, rejected. All right, so we know what my perspective is on Bitcoin. I believe that we'll probably come down, coming back to the 4 hour, and at minimum, even if we have bullish follow through, I think we'll come down and test somewhere around this 50 moving average. Now, if we see where the Fibonacci is on this, we can come up to the top there, and the golden pocket is below the 50. So even if we came down and tried to test the golden pocket, which a lot of times you can bounce from, this also would suggest weakness because the price action would be below this 50 moving average right here. And this would likely flip pretty quickly flip to a bearish trend. We can see with this 50 moving average tied with the other data sets we have within this indicator, this shows you it's either green or red. Green, strong bullish movement. And red and yellow is just chop zone. And also what happens, it ends up falling. So I think that we're still going to, I think this is a bit of a relief. If we actually come back over here to what I was showing yesterday, I still think we're going to get something like this. And what did we get? I drew this yesterday morning when the price was over here. I actually drew this a couple of days ago, but price was here, and we're seeing this B wave play out exactly as expected. Maybe this is only comes to here like this. We see the RSI, look at that, getting rejected. If we actually pull up just the RSI, we did get a bit of a breakout on the RSI. This is a 12 hour. We got a little bit of a breakout there. Let's come to the 4 hour. Yeah, we did get, this gives me a little more hope than I was seeing before because the RSI has broken out of this downtrend. This does give 1 point for the bulls. You get 1 point here. RSI did break out of this downtrend line here. You see rejection, 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 breakout. And if this comes down and bounces somewhere around here, 54 to 55, who'd that be? What up? What up, man? Yeah, I'm live right now. It's all good. Got the OGs in the house, baby. So if price were to, the strength here is broken out of this downtrend. Remember, you can have price action data sets you're looking at as well as the metrics of the asset itself, like the strength, the momentum, the money flow, all these things that can give you insight as to the health of a price action move. So in this case, we see the strength broke out of a downtrend. If this does find support here and bounce, maybe this doesn't completely collapse and this continues moving up. But then realize with the bulls, if this does continue moving up, we have this large order block directly above us and a lot of work to do with all these levels above us if we were to continue to the upside. And remember, we have that ETF likely delay coming on Friday, somewhere between Friday and Monday, right? And in addition to that, we have the CPI data coming out tomorrow and then the PPI data coming out Friday, which estimates currently are that even if we come in at estimate 3.3, that means that the consumer price index went up 0.3 from last month. So you can see there's a couple bearish pressures just riding on our shoulders right now. And people are stacking weights on the shoulder and the person's running up the hill and they're like, you know, he's going to make it up to the top. Well, you keep putting weight on his shoulders. How long do you hold that bet that you're going to continue moving to the top? Again, Bitcoin is a mean mother. Okay. So sometimes it can be like this. And then all of a sudden we get a 12% push to the upside. We get some sort of incredible data come in, but we don't know. I don't mean data, some sort of incredible new narrative that comes into the market. But we can't trade on if that comes in because we don't even know what it would be. The data, as I'm seeing it, shows a likely pullback. Or at least sideways chop into this zone over here, you know, like this. Now, let's continue on. We got a bunch more coins we want to look at. So Cardano, for sure. Let's look at Cardano because of that news that just came out. 4 hour, not much move on it. Just a little bit of a move here. This low, look at this high. If I take a line from this high right here, just drag it straight across. Look at that. Low, 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 low. So what is this doing? This impulse to the upside is non-substantive because it hasn't even broken above the previous lows. Easy way to identify if a move has substance, if a pump is really a pump, is if in the most regional range, which is this range here, if you're pulling back and the price is moving up, be excited, fine. But don't really be excited in terms of how you're engaging with the market until you see this actually breaking past previous lows. Because if these lows are resistance, bulls had no juice anyway. And I want that juice, baby. Give me that juice. So we can see also right here, momentum's sort of waning here. RSI is rolling over. Stochastics angled down. We can also see right here, specifically looking at the RSI is rolling over. We are above the 50 line, but I mean, it's looking like it's coming into resistance. So let's go ahead and zoom this down. Zippity doo dah. Looking at the 1 hour, double top also. And look at this, nearly the same high. Look how much less momentum right here. Underlying weakness. Money flow. Up. I'm waiting to start seeing this pull back. And I mean, and look at all this red on this chart. This quick visual representation. Some bearish signals in there. That's what all this red means. So Cardano's, unless we break through this level, which is, look at, I mean, it's perfectly in this order block. And now we have a second order block. That's why it's light red and it gets darker red. We have two order blocks in the same exact zone, exactly the same zone. Double top. If this does push up through here, if we break 30.2 cents, then maybe we can talk about further upside. But I'm watching us breaking. Look at this low is perfectly in line with this high. If we lose this level right here, which is 29.6, then I think that we're going to be coming down minimum and testing into the low 29s. That's what I'm seeing. And in reality, what do we usually see if you have a trend? You have a push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up. So in this case, we'd have a push down, pull up, push down, pull up, push down. Usually, you know, 3 waves. So it's also a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember we were talking about that with the Elliott wave? So I think there's still some work to be done. There's some work to be done. What do we want to look at? Axis. We're going to look at those coins that were on that news article with Bitstamp being delisted. So not much of an impact because this is also It's not today. This is a news article about what may happen on the 29th, I believe it was. Now, what time did this article go out? Does it say August 9th? Doesn't say time. Coming back, Axis. This is, we're on the 4 hour. Yeah. Okay. Rolling over. See this? Rolling over. We're currently still have the same low. We have not broken this low, but this rolling over, we're getting rejected here. Lower highs. Look at this. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So if we kind of come like this, we've got a bit of a trend line here. Rejected. We do have a W pattern here. We tried to break this neckline, which we did, and we came right back down into it. So this is kind of on a knife's edge right here because we are right next to this trend line of resistance. But we also are attempting to break out of this sort of W reversal pattern, aka double bottom. But to me, this still looks relatively weak. RSI down, stochastic down, mixed signals here on the, it's mostly bearish on the sort of trend control panel right here. Going down to the 1 hour, look, all red. So this is suggesting to me that this is likely going to at least come down here and tap the 562 and likely lose it and come down here into the 545. That's what I'm seeing on Axis. Mana. Let's look at Mana. Who holds Axis Infinity? Throw it in the chat right now. Who holds Mana? I want to see. I want to see what's up with all you folks. What you holding, baby? So now, Decentraland. Okay, we got a clear trend line right here. Boom. Look at that. Tap, 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 tap. All you got to do is tap, tap, tap it in. You see? And this is tap, tap, tapping all the way down the course here. We do have a double bottom here, slightly lower right here, but kind of a double bottom, W formation. This can't even get anywhere near this high here. This is looking, and now we have a double top right here. This is looking to me like we're probably going to test back in the zone 35.9, basically right around 36 cents. If we lose that, this is right in line with all these levels. I think we'll probably be coming down to somewhere in this zone down here. Why? Because we have all this trading right in this zone, but we also have a little bit of a gap in the volume here. It's very diminished on these volume levels on these particular prices. For anybody, again, when you see these indicators like this with these different size bars, this is how much volume comparatively with other levels, how much volume was traded at the corresponding price that you see on the right axis here, the right y-axis. So at this price level, you have more price trading here than you do here. You see, you have more volume. I mean, you have less volume traded at this level. And this changes based on what you're looking at. You see, not much volume traded at this price here. And you can also see that because all you had was one candle go through it right in the zone. So this gives you an idea what price levels have high interest. Those high interest levels means there's a little bit of price memory about where things were traded in the past. And you'll likely see some sort of interaction with price hesitation or breakthrough at those levels. Now I'm looking at these, basically 34.3, 36 cents and 34.3 are the levels below I'm looking at. If we break this, great. If we break this, next level up immediately is 38 cents. This is a resistance zone based on this previous high and order block. And again, this BitLab volume, it automatically puts these high interest levels on here. So that's the first thing I'd be looking at is 38 cents. If we take that out, I'm looking somewhere in this zone here, actually front running this with all this price interactivity here around 39 cents and then ultimately upper 39s. What was the other ones? Mana, Chili's. Let's do Chili's. I don't think we've ever looked at Chili's on this channel with you guys. I mean, I've looked at it, but that's not enough volume. See, when I see stuff like this, there's not enough volume. There's not enough liquidity. And look at this. You can see on the bottom, look how little liquidity is there. I want to look at something that has a lot more volume. Go to Binance. Okay, now, there you go. You can see, go 4 hours. Look at this consolidation range. Rolling over though, is this going to be a stair step down, sideways down? As we're seeing it right here, this is not looking very bullish. Yeah, this is not looking very bullish in terms of the structure. Down, sideways, a little bit smaller down is what I see likely happening. I'm not even going to give a target on that. But this is not looking ultimately bullish, especially knowing it's about to come off a Bitstamp. Matic. Who's got Matic? Throw Matic in the chat. Let's see. Push up, down, kind of rolling over again. We have a bit of a, I'm actually surprised here. I guess not surprised, but man, I think Matic is such a great project. Got a bit of a triangle here. Support, we're kind of riding support. Remember, we're also a bunch more green on this. This is on the daily. Let's see what it looks like on the 4 hour. 4 hour, a lot more red. See this? Boom, 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 boom. Over here on the bottom right. See where my mouse is? This is without even having to look at anything else. You can see there's generally a bearish, there's more bearishness than bullishness in the data. Now we do see that the RSI and the stochastics, all these in the VWAP, all in sort of bearish setups. That's what the V, S, and R are. Now, we do have a little bit of a breakout on this time frame. What do I mean? Boom, breakout. See this? We have a little bit of a breakout on the 4 hour time frame, but it's starting to roll over, which isn't so bad because we could be very hopeful and want it to go like this. But if the market, if Bitcoin in the market does what I think it's going to do, and we see this getting pulled off another exchange, I don't hold a lot of, I have more of a consideration that this level will be lost and we'll come down to this and continue down. We'll have to test this level and then see what's going on there. That's what I'm seeing with Matic. What was the other one? Near. Let's do Near. Who's got Near? Throw Near in the chat. I have a feeling AVAX is going to have his day soon, says Dustin Singer. I love AVAX. I took a bunch of profits on AVAX about a week ago. And of course, the price is moving up right now. So I feel the same way you all do. Man, when I sell, it moves up. But I'm holding to my strategy. I do think that there's going to be a move to the downside. And if not, I don't give a hoot. I don't care because I can roll my capital into something that's in a good setup for a bullish action, meaning that it's, you know, coming up to a trend line, looking like it's about to break, and all my other signals are there: volume, strength, money flow, all these sorts of things. I took profits. I was in much lower, so it's all good. This is, look at this. This looks very similar to what we were just seeing on Matic. It wasn't Matic. What was the other one we were looking at? Mana. But this is consolidating. We have the M formation right here. We're consolidating sideways still. We've have a lower low. Is this going to be a lower high? We got a bit of an M formation right here, kind of. It also could be a W. This is looking sort of scattered. We're getting weak momentum. RSI, stochastics angled down. I'm looking at testing down at $1.30. And likely, if we can't hold this low right here, which is this previous range low, $1.28.7, then I think we are going to be coming lower into probably the $1.20s on Near. We're able to break up, able to push up. I'm looking at $1.41 as highly contested zone, likely rejection. And was there any other ones? Sand and Sol. We're doing all kind of coins we don't normally do on here. Who's got Sol? Here's, man, Solana lovers love Solana. People either love Solana or hate Solana. Okay, this is pushing up. This is pushing up. But look at all these order block resistance levels right above us. This is ultimately where I'm looking. If this does push up, likely rejection, 25.48, if this continues moving up. Now, one could argue that you could take this flagpole like this and, you know, basically break out, but I just don't see that happening. Momentum's rolling over. You see, we're on the 4 hour. Momentum's rolling over. We got a little bit more bearishness. not overwhelming, but a little bit more bearishness here. If anybody's wondering what these numbers are here, this is an actual order flow, like order book. So you can actually, for anybody that follows order flow, you can see what the order flow is on whatever asset you're looking at here with the BitLab Trend Fuel. 1 hour, what's it 1 hour looking like? Okay, it's gonna be bearish divergence right here. See this right here? Where my mouse is? High momentum, momentum much lower, and look, price went much higher. So this is showing weakness at the levels, and we also see a bearish divergence on volume. See that? Bam. Bearish divergence on volume. So yeah, I'm looking at this right here. I mean, one could say it's already lost the level, which is boom, 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 boom. And we've lost that. Is this coming up to retest and then break down? We've also lost the 50 here on the 1 hour. I see Solana coming down. We could look at this sort of level, 2361. If we lose that level, then probably down to about $23 even, because these highs, bounce, bounce, support, bounce. These are the two levels I'll be looking at. If we do push to the upside, then I'm looking for 2546. Sand. Man, all these coins are looking so similar. Down, stair step, down, stair step. Is this what we're seeing? Look at this. Almost like an M formation, down, back up, M formation. And it's a little bit lower. We did have a wick higher, but it's a little bit lower than here. We are seeing, look at this push up here. Momentum was negative. This does not look like it's trying to make higher moves. Getting rejected in these order blocks right here, getting rejected, coming down. I see this likely coming down into first stop right about here. Why? Because this is the lows here, bounce, bounce. I'm looking at some interactivity here at 40 cents. If we lose that, then coming down here into the 39.2, 39.5, somewhere in this zone here. If we lose that level, that's on the 1 hour. If we lose that level, then, I mean, we can see the order block from all the way before. This is down at 37.6. Is there anything else? I think we did them all. The whole point with all this, everybody, let's kind of head back. Let's look at Ethereum. We did not look at Ethereum. Double top immediately, boom, that's obvious. Look at this. This already is broken beyond the lows of this zone, and it's also broken below the 50 moving average. And look at that. It went from green to red already. This is suggesting that and also look at this. Candle body, and we all see the momentum coming down. Look, mostly red here on this control panel down here. I see this likely coming down to 1841. If we lose that level, then down here to 1829. That's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. And the last thing, again, everybody, I just want to shout out this, all this TA that we've been doing is brought to you by BitGet. Definitely check out the link that we have down below in the description. Sign up, be in our group on BitGet. Use a VPN to protect your identity when you're signing up. And we're going to be doing some special offers for people that are using the exchange through our affiliate link. You're going to be getting some free access to some really great stuff coming very shortly. I'll be making an announcement about what that is here very shortly. Oh, BitGet right here. Where is it at? There we go. Okay, rejection. Yeah, again, we've lost the 50 line. Okay, lost the 50 line. I see this coming. I see this testing down at minimum to 29.5, 29.6. In reality, I see it, in the next day or two coming down to the low 29s. And then we can revisit, especially when it gets down to 28.7, which is this larger trend line we could see. This is going to be a sort of determining point about what happens with Bitcoin from there. But with that, where do you see everybody that's watching live? If you're watching anywhere else, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy YouTube page, which is right here, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. Subscribe to our channel, be a part of our community. This is a great group of people. Everybody hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, And make sure you're watching some of these daily alphas. I'm actually recording another one this afternoon. It's going to go out on BitBoy Crypto as well as BitLab Academy this weekend on Saturday. What was I going to say? I love you all. I appreciate you all. Make sure that you're getting involved in the Discord. I had some issues with my account. It wasn't our BitLab stuff. It was Discord itself. But I'm going to be posting daily charts in there. So get involved in the Discord, in the VIP areas, the charts areas, the signals areas. And we're going to be talking a lot about, I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff there. And with that, that's all I got. I bid you adieu. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker.